But I've been invited back to Moscow to do exactly that on an English-speaking radio show.
Welcome back to Capital Sports here on Moscow's Capital FM. I'm Alan Moore, and here with me today, I am very, very happy to say we have the man and the legend, Mr. Frankie Boyle. Frankie, welcome to Capital FM.
Alan Moore is a top Irish sports journalist who's worked in Russia for 10 years. Today he's asked me on his weekly show, so long as I only talk about football.
What's your first World Cup memory? What's the first World Cup you remember?
Oh, that's a good one. I remember the Hand of God thing, obviously, in '86 really well.
Of course, the Hand of God has haunted England ever since, because it was 20 years after they won the World Cup at home. Is that then karma paying England back, that they're not going to win the World Cup ever again?
I think if it's karma for the British Empire, I think the team playing is going to crash into an oil refinery on the way here. I mean, there's no way it's enough for what they've done.
OK, we'll move on very quickly.
But try as we might to change the subject, the Salisbury spy scandal just won't go away. Particularly when Boris Johnson tiptoes in, cross between a head injury and an unmade bed. A malevolent baked Alaska, accusing Putin of turning the World Cup into a propaganda exercise.
Yes, I think the comparison with 1936 is certainly right.
The 1936 that Boris is making a tactful comparison to is Hitler's 1936 Olympics. A comparison that makes absolutely no sense to Russians. That seems to have touched a bit of a nerve.
I think that's upset a lot of people. Like, you know, when Boris Johnson compares modern-day Russia to Nazi Germany after everything that happened in the Second World War and 25 million people losing their lives to fight for, you know,
that's
freedom.
a big button to press for Russian people, isn't it? If you start talking about the Nazis that they fought so hard against.
For the Russians, it's difficult to understand why Britain is picking on them, because they put a lot of stock by Great Britain, and they love British things. I mean, Hamley's Toy Store is a huge hit here, and Marks & Spencer, so it's upsetting for Russians. I think it's kind of unfortunate, a lot of what's going on.
You sort of feel like if they really don't like Putin in the West, they're sort of going the worst way about getting rid of him, because everything they do, from encircling Russia with nuclear bases to sanctions, everything they do plays into his narrative of, oh, Russia's under siege. He has such a vast country, it covers 11 time zones. How do you create a story that bonds all those people together that isn't us against the world? Do you know what I mean? So they kind of are playing into his hands a bit.